Here for our final series of the STPL today. I noticed there's been a lot of chat there's been a lot of stuff going on in chat about how streamers, especially like certain streamers, get really toxic when they lose. And it's definitely bad, which is why I don't play on stream, because I genuinely get so unbelievably angry at myself. Like, that's the difference. Like Artosis, for instance, when he gets angry, you can see he gets angry at his opponents, but for me, I get so angry at myself that I just can't do it anymore. I actually got to the point where I don't think I've actually played Brood War now. Well, I played it yesterday, but I hadn't played for like 2 months, because unlike in other games, like, I don't know what it is about this specific game that does it for me, but this game, when I lose, I feel like shit. I feel awful when I lose in this game, and I blame myself for it, even though you're bound to lose sometimes. But in other games, I don't get angry. Like, I can sit there and I can play like a million games of whatever else, and I don't get angry. Like, I don't get it. I think it's because I care too much. It's funny. Oh well. I do have a question as well before we get into the series. Is anyone from Austria, or anyone who can speak Austrian, in chat? If you are, I want to find out what something is, because I've got no idea. I essentially got someone Austrian bought for me in Secret Santa this year, on one of the forum Secret Santas I do, and they bought me a ton of Austrian sweets. And genuinely, I can't figure out what this one thing is. Like, I can tell it's milk chocolate, I can read milk chocolate, and I know what that means, but it doesn't look like just chocolate, so I can't figure out if it's someone else. I could just open it, I guess, right? Oh, there is no Austrian, it's German. Okay, any Germans in the audience? Because if you can tell me what these are, I would be eternally grateful. I can't figure out. Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. They look weird. They don't look like just milk chocolate. They kind of feel weird as well. I don't know what it is, but if you guys know, then let me know, because that would be very helpful. I know it says it's a Draghi Keksi, and it's milk chocolate, but I don't know what that is. Oh well. Monsieur doesn't know what it is either, so oh well, at least none of us know what it is. Right, let's introduce our next two teams. Obviously, this is a rare occurrence, having 3 STPL series on a Monday, but it is the day before New Year's Eve. So let's have a look at our matchup. It's going to be NetWars versus Valhalla team, two of our stronger teams overall. Valhalla team second in the team rankings. NetWars a little bit further down. They had a little bit of a rough start to their season. As many people know, they've had a little bit of a rough season with Monith leaving. Kogut not getting too inactive, but has been pretty inactive outside of this. And True Touch pulling out as well. They've lost a lot of their really big linchpins to the team, so that's fine. Let's introduce our rosters. Sorry for today. I've suddenly got hiccups and I don't know how. But in terms of game number 1, it's going to be a TVP, between Kogut and DK. And I have to admit, they have the worst colors in the world. This was played pre-patch. I fell back a little bit, obviously, with being ill for about 3 weeks. So we're then going to have a PvP between Yeti and Last, a ZBT between Zero and Forever, and a PvZ between Vingzel and Cross. So this should be a fun series. There's a lot of good players for both of our teams. It's going to be pretty cool regardless. Now, I've been through the maps many times so far, but we'll do it again just to be sure, in case anyone's watching on YouTube. But in terms of map stats, Neo Arkanoid is pretty well versed in PvT, 7-6 in favor of Protoss, which is quite interesting. Didn't really expect to see that here. And we've had a few upsets in terms of Protoss versus Terran, like Oystein taking down Medino and Seriosity taking down Pinkbrush, but overall, a very fun map. We're looking forward to seeing these two players duke it out, and obviously to start us off, we're going to have the Polish powerhouse himself. It's Kogut. He's a father of 2, and he finished 4th place in the Corrupted Cup 2019, and they said 2010. I'm a little bit far off of 2010, but that's fine. Apparently I've completely forgotten what year we're in. He's rank 4 in the STPL overall, which is no easy feat. I guess no mean feat, should I say. Oh, apparently they're cookies with chocolate coating. Okay, that's kind of cool. This is the last match, Pebble. That isn't the real last, no, it's a different one. But Kogut, rank 4 in the STPL overall, 15 wins over 6 losses over Protoss. A very, very strong Terran player. And his opponent fighting for Valhalla team is going to be DK. DK hasn't played too many games, so not too much to say here, and hasn't played a PvT. So we can't be sure what that's going to be like. As we get into game number 1, it's Kogut versus DK here on Neo Arkanoid. Now, just quickly, before we go in, I just want to say a massive thank you to Liquipedia, our sponsor. It's a wonderful resource. If you can, please use some of your spare time to edit the Liquipedia entries. Keep them up to date with all the tournament information. It's been the best. It's like the best esports resource for the last 10 years by far. Not only for Brood War, for many, many other games as well. I think there's 28 games on there now, which is just crazy to think where it all started with just Brood War. So, huge thank you to them, and of course, thank you to Matrino, who have donated a lot of codes for us. I'm going to spam the link one more time. Please do go and enter the code LSTPL into Matrino to add a 50 cents to the prize pool. A massive thank you. I've only just noticed, but Cobalt Blue has added $150 to the prize pool, which is absolutely insane. Thank you so much, man. It means so much, and that puts our prize pool up at $800 for Season 2. Now, obviously, our Season 1 prize pool was $1,500, so if you want to get it to that level, you can help out by donating on Matrino, or if you want to help out in other ways, you can donate on Patreon as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Let's get into game number 1 of Net Wars versus Valhalla team. Okay, now you'll see why I said the colors were a little bit shit. I have to be honest, they're not playing on top versus bottom either, and this was pre-patch, so I cannot change the colors, unfortunately. So we're going to have 2 different shades of blue. Starting us off in the top right hand corner is going to be in the darker blue. I believe this is sky blue, fighting for Net Wars. It's the Polish powerhouse himself, it's Kogut. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner. I guess this is more a silver, so it's not too bad. It does look like 2 shades of blue, but I'd say this is silver in color. Fighting for Valhalla team, it's DK. Now DK, of course, the leader of the bunch, you know him well, and he's finally back to kick some tail in this game. Let's see what his PvT is going to be like. We've not seen too many of them. We haven't seen any of them so far. DK, one of the players that came over from the Valhalla team and Team Wiko, Clan Wiko merger for STPL Season 2. They've fielded a good number of players. There's still a lot they've not shown off. Super Friend BFG is saying DK equals Dungeon Keeper or Donkey Kong. You know what, I'm just going to say it's Donkey Kong. It could be Death Knight as well. Maybe he is a fellow WoW player or fellow Warcraft player. Chobo Avenger saying drunken Korean. That'd be funny. But I'm sure they have their own word for drunken Korean. And Abby being his normal, wonderful, polite self to his previous opponents. DK is an amateur Korean. He's not pro level. He's not done amazingly in the STPL so far, but he's had some really fun games. One of the things I want to add to the what I'm going to do on New Year's Day, most likely, because there won't be a stream on New Year's Day, but I'm going to add the duration of the games into the team history, because essentially it'll be interesting to see when they've played against someone what their score was. And, well, obviously they see the score, but then it'll be interesting to see what the duration of the match was, because then you can see how often they like to cheese. Like, in the last 10 games, are any of their games over 6 minutes? Yes or no? I think that could be kind of cool. By the way, if you guys ever have any ideas for any additions that I haven't thought of for the overlay and you think it would help the production, throw them at me. Like, at me on Twitter, message me on Twitch, message me on one of the many StarCraft Discords I'm on. Throw them at me and I'll make it happen, because at the end of the day, production has always been my major but wait. Stargate! Stargate! On one gateway, one gate into Stargate. Please, please tell me this is a scout build. Oh, if this is going to be a scout, I think I might just lose it. Oh, it's a Corsair. Oh. Oh. Damn. Well, it's going to be a Corsair for scouting purposes, likely going to go into 2-base carrier. A man could dream, a man did dream of a scout first build, but unfortunately, we're not getting a stove here today, guys. Scout could be on the table, it depends how much DK respects Koga. Koga is rank 4 in the STPL, so overall, he needs to be very careful. But we're likely just going to see a fleet beacon and 2 Stargate carrier off of 2 base. This is a semi-island map, so one thing you can't see, I'll just reveal it. You can't see on the minimap because when you shift tab everyone's yellow. For some reason Blizzard have made it so if you're on allied color, or if you're not on allied colors, then buildings don't show up on the minimap, which is a real pain. But essentially it is a semi-island map. I'm surprised you've not seen a game on this map so far. But you'll note that this Corsair going to head up into the top right hand position. Now unfortunately, Libertine, this is for scouting. He's going to scout, going to go fleet beacon. Well, actually going to go for robo first. Likely going to expand, go for fleet beacon and go for carriers. Now, it could also be a fake, but going for a Stargate just to scout seems a little bit interesting. Now, the interesting thing about going for Corsair first, actually, is it's going to be a long time before Koga has anything that can shoot up. He's got 3 Marines, but they're killing the buildings over here. And this Corsair is just going to have free reign to go in and scout over and over and over again. And it's also going to be able to take out any dropships that come out of the base. Now, no additional tech has been built just yet. The robo is just now finishing up. We're going to have a shuttle on the way, so it should very well likely be a robo Reaver here. Reaver into carrier, certainly a very normal build in PvT, but definitely a strange way of going about it with the Corsair first. But look at this, he's going to kill the barracks, he's going to really delay the scouting of Koga, and is going to force an academy, force scans, very, very important scans out from Koga, because Koga's going to need to check the expansions, he's going to need to see everything, and he's only going to get a small glimpse of what we have to offer. Now the scanner's just finishing up. If we have a look here, he should scan the main first. Yeah, there we go. Scanning, sees the text, sees the shuttle. Shuttle unfortunately unable to hide itself, so nice scan there by Koga. I'm gonna save the second scan because you kind of need to. Like, there's always the worry that DTs are coming. Even though he didn't see any DT tech, and he should know by this point there's no DTs. He's forced into another barracks, which is going to delay his factories. You can see he actually got his 3rd and 4th factory very, very quickly here to ensure that he got it without needing to build them. But there'll be no 5th, there'll be no 6th factory. Engineering bay coming up here as well, because he needs some turrets. As Goliaths are not going to cut it against the shuttle coming in from multiple angles. The temples being taken out in the middle. The Reaver is done. We have shuttle speed coming in as well. We've got a pylon coming up. 3rd base on the way. Still no fleet beacon just yet. No 2nd Stargate. But I get the feeling we should see that coming in soon, because there is +1 air weapons coming in. Now let's see how much damage this Reaver can do, if it can do any. He sees the Goliaths. Is he going to go in? No, he's going to pull back. Speed isn't quite done on the shuttle just yet. It's 2/3 of the way done. It does need to be very, very careful, but obviously this is going to put Kogut on the defensive. Now, Kogut's got his 3 bases. He's not going to be worried about pushing out too quickly anyway. +1 attack is almost done. Where is the science facility? It is late, so +2 attack is going to be very late here for Kogut. That's a big mistake I've seen a lot of Terrans making today. Upgrade timings are super crucial in every single Terran matchup. A nice first Scarab getting a couple of SCVs. Is he going to get a couple more? No, only a single one. Oh, he's going to take out the shuttle though, so this Reaver is completely marooned. 3 Marines and a bunker actually going to be taking it out. The Goliaths have been cleaned up. The SCV doing a pretty good job. Oh my god, is the no, the SCV doesn't kill it. Okay. But the 1 Marine in the bunker, what a hero. Gonna keep the Reaver from being able to do too much damage. The minerals lost on those Scarabs. Unable to do anything. The Zealots go down as well, and that was definitely not a foray to victory for our Protoss hero. Now, first carrier has arrived. Where on earth is the fleet beacon? It's over here. So, Interceptor upgrade is coming in. He's got his probe trapped as well, so he's going to be able to stack his carriers. Yeah, the colors are a little bit awful. They're not too bad for me, and it's lucky we're not on a Twilight map. But in the latest patch, this game was played the week before that patch came out. They've made it so similar colors can't be picked. So any week after this should be better. In case you're unaware and in case you're tuning in for like the first time, I went through a period of being like super ill with a really bad cough for like 3 weeks in December, or in this month. So it meant I couldn't really cast. So that's why there was a bit of a gap between the games. Usually the replays would be casted the week after they've been played, but this has been a couple of weeks now, so a little bit behind, but we're catching up slowly. I'm off next week and most of this week, so I'm hoping we're going to be able to fit a few extra casts in over the next couple of weeks to catch ourselves back up, so we're in business. But for the players, there's going to be a couple of weeks break between the normal stage and the playoff stage anyway, just because we want to get the bracket contest ready thanks to Liquipedia. They're going to be handling all of that, so I don't have to. Now, I know Chobo Avenger said this is a no rush 10 minutes map, but genuinely, I've seen games on this map end in less than 6 minutes. Yes, it was EVZ, yes, it was EVP, but Lings can break through these temples incredibly quickly, especially the main ones here and the power generators. If you go through them, you can break through incredibly quickly. Now, the difference is we've got Kogut going through the 5,000 health temples, which does take a long time, and that's fine. Now, this is 3 base Terran. Oh my god, the carrier! Oh, the carrier goes down. A massive misstep by DK, losing that first carrier. That is not something he can afford to be losing. And if things carry on the way they're going, it looks like Kogut could take Net Wars to a very early lead in this series. And that would be an incredible move, given the fact that Valhalla team are 2nd overall in the STPL Season 2. And Net Wars have been struggling, but Kogut is playing this wonderfully. The only problem he's had is his upgrades are late. These +2 attack should almost be done by this point, I believe. Should be around 12 minutes, I think, but +2 attack should finish. Yeah, this has been an amazing, amazing map in the STPL. We've had so many good games on here. Now, there is Double Reaver, which is going to make it a little bit harder for these Goliaths and tanks to push forward. You can already see that Kogut is going to take down all of these buildings to make it possible to run through and just secure his position. Now, this does, of course, give Protoss more of a chance to get more carriers up. There's now 3 Stargates building carriers. It takes 5 minutes from the time the fleet beacon begins to getting the first carriers with full interceptors, so he's been building up to these for a while. And losing that first carrier is definitely a big, big problem. Now, Kogut isn't going to be able to take a 4th base for a while here, but he is going to be able to clean out this 3rd base. And there's really not too much that DK is going to be able to do about this. 3 carriers are not going to be enough to deal with these Goliaths. The carriers are actually stuck in an awful position. The Goliaths are on top of them again. No? Oh, why are they going back over the Goliaths? They need to, yeah, they need to go the other way. And they're going to get marooned out over the 3rd base. Wait, what is taking damage? Okay, it must be interceptors under the carriers. Here we go. Looks like the carriers are on the high ground now. With this single carrier at the front, taking so much damage. This is definitely not Stalk level carrier micro, as this carrier goes down to a single Goliath. Another Reaver has just gone down. Looks like the Reaver in the the Reaver in the thing not doing too well. Oh my god, the carrier survives. That's 1 hit away from death. DK doesn't hold this for sure. Surely he can't hold this. There's no way. Kogut just needs to reinforce. He needs to come back in. 2-1 upgrades would definitely be helping him here. But he is eventually going to be able to break through the 3rd base. There's almost 20 additional workers for Kogut now, which are going to be good. His economy is doing great. He's got a ton of reinforcements starting to rally their way down. The 3rd base is going to go down as well. Now, there is 4 carriers. There is 6 carriers. I thought the 3rd carrier would have come out at the same time, but looks like that came out a little bit earlier. And on only 2 bases, DK is in a very difficult spot. He could still hold on here. It's going to be hard. Interestingly, using his pylon to bring the stuff out rather than a neutral building. But here we go. Looks like he's going to try and hold on. This is his last breath here. As if these carriers go down, if the ground army goes down, the Goliaths are going to get on top of them. This carrier with 1 hit away from death from before is still alive. Unfortunately, looks like Kogut can't get in a good position to actually engage the carriers, so he's struggling a little bit. But look at the money of Kogut compared to DK. DK is constantly low on minerals because he just doesn't have that many bases. He's got a 3rd base now in the bottom left-hand corner. Not doing too much with that. And the carriers have cleaned up the tanks for now, so the ground army is going to be able to push back the initial Goliaths. But look at the reinforcements. More and more coming in off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 factories here. Wait, 10 factories. I don't know how I skipped one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 10 factories worth of mech production. 4th base going to be coming up here. Base in the bottom left is going to start mining. And this does afford DK the ability to attack into the 3rd base of Kogut now. But is Kogut just a little bit too far ahead? Now these carriers are stuck in a very bad position. They're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. The carrier's going to try and push back forward. The Zealots obviously helping out a lot at the front. But it's just too much. Kogut is going to be able to push through here once again. And he should now be able to push into the main. And there's not really too much these carriers can do about it. Some of the units getting caught out in the middle of the map, in the middle of nowhere. But there's more reinforcements. If he sends them all down, this is bound to be game. There's an Artosis pylon here on a ton of gateways. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't even think. Yeah, he is building off of them. He's panic building DTs. This is one way you can come back as Protoss. If Kogut used all of his scans, one of the carriers goes down. Maybe the DTs can get in and do a ton of damage, but the 2nd carrier about to go down as well. 2-1 upgrades are done. There goes the scan. The DT's not running in 1 by 1. Oh my god, the DT survives. DT on the top just out of scan, but it's not enough. DK taps out. GG. King K rule. King K Kogut wins in game number 1. And that was a pretty cool game number 1. Obviously, it's pretty by the numbers by Kogut there. But of course, a fun PvT nonetheless. We did see a Stargate opening for a very quick Corsair scout. But unfortunately, it just didn't really help. It's just one of those things that happens. Now, we are going to be heading into a PvP on Carthage 3 when we get back after this very short break. See you guys very soon. Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie.
I'm about to overload my aggression inhibitors.
Tsugi tsugi to hirogaru personal computer ディスクシステムの世界。ブリザードエンターテインメントから新しい冒険を試すことができる RTS ゲームの発売が決定されました。最初は人類から取り寄せしたテラン。バイオニックやメカニックやいろんなユニットでプロトスとザーゴをぶっ潰されます。でも気をつけて同士討ちも可能です。抜群技術力があるプロトス。もし友達がいない場合、プロトスがおすすめます。あなた方の透明人間が卑怯ですが、ぜひ使ってください。そして怪物のザーグ。君の実力はナンバーズ。敵を圧倒してください。ミュタリスクコントロールもガンガン使って勝ってください。応援してくださいね。
Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear launch detected.
Hey, how'd I get here? What the hell? I need that college money.
Okay, we have a ton of match reading. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 2 of Net Wars versus Valhalla team. Koga taking Net Wars to a quick 1-0 lead here in the series. It's going to be up to our next couple of players to see how that could change things as we head on to Carthage 3. Carthage 3, a very cool map. It's going to be a PvP, so this is only going to be our third one. Although that seems like it's wrong. That definitely looks like it's wrong. Somehow, that is broken, so we will need to fix that. But we have had 4 PvPs here so far. I have no idea why that's happened, but that's something for me to fix over the next couple of days. But Carthage 3, a super fun map. Lots of good games been played on here so far. Let's have a look at our players. Fighting for Net Wars here, it's going to be Yeti now. Yeti actually 4-killed in the Winners League show match we had between Net Wars and Ash. Was a very fun series. If you didn't miss it, it was the Christmas Cup number 2. It's up on YouTube and you can watch it all. And he's ranked 9 in the STPL. Really good player. He's taken out some amazing players throughout his run in the STPL, including the ASL round of 24 qualified Bjol. He played a 40-minute macro game against him in Season 1 on Athena 2, and it was incredible. And his opponent, fighting for Valhalla team, it's going to be Last, has got an 80% win rate. It's not STX's Last. It's not Red Team's Last, it's Valhalla Team's Last. He's ranked 16 in the STPL already. He's run through some very strong opponents. He's beat Medinho, he's beat Terra, he's beat Kyrie. Just overall an incredibly strong Protoss player, sorry. Both of the other lasts were Terran. And it's going to be cool to see him play a PvP against Yeti here on Carthage 3. One thing to note is Yeti is actually 14 wins, 5 losses in PvP, so it's going to be a good matchup. Let's get into game number 2. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the Teal Protoss fighting for Valhalla Team, its last from South Korea. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner, it's Yeti fighting in the red for Net Wars from Poland. So, this has been a pretty long cast today so far. Thank you so much to all of you wonderful people who are tuned in watching. Hopefully this series, I definitely think it's going to be the highlight series of the day. Kogut versus Kogut versus DK was a little bit more interesting than I imagined it would be. But Last is doing something a bit crazy here, going for a proxy gate in a PvP. Now, is Yeti going to fall for this, or is he going to scout it? I think Yeti's going to go and scout for this. Let's have a look. Where is this probe going? Is he going to go to the left? No, he's not, but the probe is there. He should know from the fact that probe is so early that something isn't right. And he's not going the right way to check for the proxies, so this could be a very, very fast PvP here. And thank you for thanking me, Imbidenture. Means a lot, man. Yeah, I mean, necessarily you don't need to scout the proxy gateway. It's not like it's a PvT where if you don't scout the proxy gateway, you die to a zealot. Yeti's probably going to go for his own zealot here, so Yeti going in for gas. Going to go for a core as well. Is he going to go for a zealot first, or is he going to wait? Yeti's interestingly stopped his probe. Yeah, there we go. Zealot coming in. So it is going to be Zealot versus Zealot. Obviously, the Zealot of Last is going to be a lot quicker. But Yeti's going to move in and see that there's no Nexus, see that there's no gateway, and know that he has to do some holding on here. Shield battery coming in immediately because he doesn't know how many gateways have been proxied. So a little bit of a split-second decision there to go for the shield battery. Maybe not worth it, but maybe it is. Now you can see Zealot versus Zealot with a probe helping. Definitely going to go in favor of the probe. There was a mana pylon put down, but that's not going to help out too much. And wait, is that a mana pylon or is that a Yeti? No, that's a Yeti pylon, isn't it? He tried to put that there to try and stop the probes running around, but unfortunately Yeti Zealot getting caught up in the mineral line, causing a lot of trouble here. Dragoon going to be on the way, so it's going to be Zealot against two Zealots, which is not a position you want to be in. He's going to run back to the shield battery. This is a very, very important moment in this game, but he's taking a ton of probe damage. The shield battery definitely helping out though. Going to make it a little bit harder for Last to do super huge amounts of damage, but already he's got a 6 probe lead, has Last, so things are definitely looking pretty good for our South Korean hero here. But Yeti is trying to hold on the best he can. It's definitely problematic to do this, but of course if the proxy gate doesn't outright kill your opponent, if your opponent can recover, they're going to have better tech, they're going to have a better economy eventually. And it looks like the Zealots have finally been cleaned up. A third Zealot, or fourth Zealot I think that is going to come in. It's going to come in across 2 Dragoons though. Back at home there is an additional gateway been added on. He's going to go into a core himself. And I definitely think the Last is at an advantage in this game. Now getting supply block, definitely not going to help. And that's definitely something that's going to help Yeti pull back into this game. The Zealot shouldn't do any damage whatsoever, but does need to be careful not to lose any additional health on this Dragoon. There we go. The shields have gone down, but he's got the shield battery, healing that straight back up. Now, Last being a little bit cheeky, hiding a Zealot down here. If Yeti doesn't check... Oh, nice move. He went to go and check for any additional buildings or anything, and he finds the hidden Zealot. Super important that he catches this, because if he leaves his base and suddenly a Zealot runs in, he is in an awful spot. But he's slowly catching up in the probe count. He's slowly caught up in the supply, and he definitely has the better units for the time being. There's an additional Zealot being made here, but he should probably just cancel it. There we go, it's been cancelled. Another Dragoon is on the way. Range has just finished up. And that means if he pushes across the map now before range is done for Last, then he could do a ton of damage. But looks like he just wants to hold and secure his expansion. The expansion a little bit later than maybe he wanted to put it down, but that's the way it happens sometimes. And in Videntia, it is where you thank me for thanking you for thanking me. So I'm gonna thank you for thanking me for thanking you for thanking me. That's where it gets Inception. Thanks, Inception. Thing is, in the UK, there is like often times where both people are saying sorry to each other, and you say sorry over and over again until you don't remember what you're saying sorry for, and you're both apologizing for something you haven't even done. That's the worst thing. The other thing you often get into is like, I don't know if it's just me, but I know there's other British people who do this as well. You get in the habit of apologizing for things that aren't even your fault. Like, someone will bump into you and like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, wait, what? They walked into me. Why am I apologizing? But, oh well. Gotta be polite. Not that a lot of people in the UK are polite anymore, but that's unfortunate. Yes, he is going to lose this Dragoon. This Dragoon unfortunately decided to not go the right way, so that's getting caught off guard. Looks like Yeti is actually going to be down in units. He did go for a Nexus, which is obviously not the easiest thing to do. You can already see that Yeti knows that he's in trouble. He's pulling all of his probes away from his Nexus. He's caught up in probes now, but obviously this is 400 minerals of not units, so it's been 2-gate full production against 1 gate for the longest time. He's going into 3-gate behind this, and he's going to build a pylon out the front to try and help out. But the Robo is done for last, and Yeti... Oh, Yeti's also got his Robo. I was going to say Yeti is way too far behind now, but he's not doing too bad. Looks like last is going to take an expansion up there in the top middle, as you can see on the screen. The Nexus of Yeti is going to go down. This is obviously a little bit awful, but as long as he holds on to his main, he still has a chance. He's going to get the Robo first. And looks like we are going to have the Zealots going in, taking a lot of the hits. The Dragoons coming in behind this, making it very, very difficult for Yeti to be able to defend against this. Now, nice target firing from Yeti. Hasn't managed to kill a Dragoon. There we go. One has gone down. Another one's gone down for both players. We've got 3 Dragoons, well, only 2 Dragoons actually pulling out here. We've got the shield battery going to be helping out, not too much though. And it looks like Yeti may actually fall here. Last did an incredible amount of damage with his proxy gateway. And it looks like this is just too much. We are going to have a Reaver out here, but the Reaver is going to be fighting through the mineral line, which is not a position you want to be in. More and more probes are going to go down from Yeti. Yeti is now down 9 probes even over his opponent. Oh, he has trapped the he's trapped the Dragoons in, but is this more a case of the Dragoons are trapped in with him, or is he trapped in with the Dragoons now? Obviously the shield battery worth its weight in gold, still keeping this Dragoon alive for an obscenely long time. But unfortunately it's just too little too late. Yeti has lost far too much, and last is going to take a very good win here in game number 2. Obviously I'm calling it before it's done, but I've seen enough PvPs over the last 3 years to know this game's over. Like, unless Yeti can make a miracle happen with a shuttle and a Reaver, which he has the opportunity to do now, I don't think he has a way back in this game. We're going to have pylons scouting around for the shuttle coming in. There is no shuttle, there's no second Reaver, there's no second base, and it looks slowly but surely like there's going to be no hope here for Yeti, unfortunately. Okay, so we've got an observer coming in here from last. It's almost like we're watching a Stone Age Protoss. I don't know if anyone... Okay, so this is a good example. If anyone's seen the anime or read the manga of Dr. Stone, essentially it's about the world. All of the humans in the world get turned to stone in present day, and are really smart. Like, the protagonist is like the super genius science boy who wakes up 3,000 years later and he's been counting, which is just ridiculous. So he knows how long it's been. And essentially he's bringing back science into a world where society has no science. And essentially it's like this. So we've got the Reaver, but it can't see anything right now. Like, this man's just built a radio transmission tower, and the other guy's beating people up with sticks. Like, this is how far ahead technology-wise Last is of Yeti. Last is up 30 supply, he's up 15, 16, 17 probes. And he's just so unbelievably far ahead right now. And as Hellgate says, the only way Yeti has of getting back in this game is if the Scarab of Destiny in the probe line swings the way it goes. Now, we do have observers out for for Yeti now, but it's a rough way back into the game. It can happen. It is Brood War. Anything can happen in a Brood War game. The game is never truly over until one person taps out or all their buildings are destroyed. So Yeti still has hope. There is a chance that Last suicides all of his army onto 2 to 3 Reavers. Looks like it's only going to be 2 for now. I have seen very bad engagements in PvP, so I don't like to count my chickens until they've hatched. So let's see how this goes. If Last breaks the net again, this is 100% game over. He has his own 2 Reavers. And that should be the swing in the favor of Last. Looks like Yeti's going to try and focus down one of the Reavers. Getting picked up though. One of the Reavers of Yeti already going down. All the blue go on one side, none on the other. GG, Yeti taps out. Last wins game number 2. Sorry, someone posted a screenshot on Discord of a 3-hour game. Oh my goodness. So Last winning that game, I think, as we all expected after the way that game went, but really, really well played by Last to get into that position to begin with. Yeti unfortunately took a little bit too much damage from the proxy gateway, was unable to convert. He tried to expand to make up the difference, and unfortunately for him, it didn't work out. Now we're going to be heading into a TVZ, which is definitely the fan favorite matchup, I would say. It's going to be Mr. Bombastic himself, Zero, against Forever. It's ZBT on Desperado when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon. Did you know it was possible to drop behind the naturals in Fighting Spirit? It's a bit finicky to land in the right place. You essentially need to... There's very specific spots in each of the spawns, which I'm going to try and show you here.
Hang on, we're in for some chop. I copy that.
There we go, there's one. So I believe there's actually more spots than this, but essentially it's quite hard to do. So you've got one here. I found 2 over here. There's also one here as well. You can also drop, I think, in this location. One thing to point out is the ghost cannot actually move. But of course what it does give you the option of doing is it allows you to nuke. Is already at DeWalt's front door. DeWalt has absolutely no idea this is happening. A lot of Ceres units did break through the other power generator, but finally... Oh my god, the Corsair sees it. But is it a little bit too little too late? DeWalt is a man who has incredible micro against Zerg, so let's see if he can hold on here. He's not going to be able to hold the temple at the very least, so... And there's going to be speedlings flooding across the map very, very shortly. Now, Corsair's not going to help. It's going to be a scout coming in. A scout's like the only option he has. The Zealot, for some reason, is moonwalking on top of the Dragoon. Nice probe drill. Actually doing a really good job there, but is it just too little too late here? How is DeWalt going to hold on to this? Seri has lost one of his only overlords, though. He's going to lose his other ones. And DeWalt's actually not doing a terrible job. He's holding on. He's not taking any probe damage. He is now supply blocked. So both players are going to be supply blocked here. The cannon is going to come up in the mineral line. The Seri is so unbelievably supply blocked. We're not going to see any additional links coming from him. And DeWalt is holding on. It's 21 probes against 8 drones. The pylon's coming up. He's going to have to repower all his buildings. But there's a cannon here now. The probes are still alive. 20 probes. DeWalt holds a scout as well. Insult to injury here for this failed attack by Seriosity. DeWalt was perfect micro. Holding on. Seri once again trying to build overlords, but they're going down to a Corsair. And even the gateway is going to survive here. And, I mean, DeWalt, this is perfect for IRK. They needed this. They struggled at the beginning of the season. They came back, and they have done a fantastic job. GG, Seri taps out. DeWalt takes game number 5 and gives the series win to IRK. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 3 between NetWars and Valhalla team. The scores are tied up 1-1. It's going to be up to Mr. Bombastic himself, Zero, as he faces up against Forever to see if NetWars can take a second win over our second place team in Season 2. The map we're going to be heading into is Desperado. This is game number 3. I don't know if it's a game number 2 before, but oh well, it's late. It's nearly 11:45, so forgive me. Desperado, 2 gases in the main. We've had a few really cool ZVZs here so far, ZVTs here so far. Terran versus Zerg, 2 for 2. Although somehow this is broken, and I don't know how. Wait, is it because we I know why. It's because we had, yeah, that's it. It's not adding the new games onto that number. I need to figure that out, but essentially EPM picking versus Hitmob was today. So it's 3 for 2 in favor of Terran, so definitely statistically a little bit in favor of Terran, but not a big sample size. Let's have a look at our player histories. Zero, of course, Mr. Bombastic, runner, organizer of the Bombastic Star League. Overall, really nice guy. He also casted the Corrupted Cup in Polish. He's ranked 41 in the STPL overall. He got 2 kills on. He got 2 kills in the Winners League show match they played for the Christmas Cup. He beat Dreamer on Avalon and Squall on Battle Royale. Wait, did he beat Squall? Yeah, he did. That was a really cool ZVZ. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Forgive me, we're getting late in the cast. It's nearly 4 hours I've been casting, so possibly one of my longest casts since I stopped doing the Clash of Char. But 0-2 for 5 against Zerg. Not had the best luck. Or against Terran, sorry. Not had the best luck against Terran in the tournament. And his opponent fighting for Valhalla team is going to be Forever. Forever has had a little bit better luck. Over his 9 games he's played, he's won 7 of them. And 4 of those were against Zerg, so he has lost to a Zerg all-in before on this map. Whether or not we'll see Zero go for that, I highly doubt it. But let's find out as we get into game number 3. It's Mr. Zero against Valhalla Teams Forever in game number 3. Okay, starting us off here in the top right hand position, we do have the yellow Terran fighting for Valhalla team. It's Forever. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand side here, definitely going to be the fan favorite if you're watching from outside of Korea. It's Mr. Zero himself, Mr. Bombastic. Looks like Zero asking where Forever's from. I don't think Zero follows the STPL as much because he is obviously spending a lot of time not only with his wife but also on organising tournaments, much like I have trouble keeping up with BSL for the same reasons, but I will always be there to champion BSL. Hopefully Zero would do the same for STPL. I'm not 100% sure if he would, but he does pop up every once in a while to watch. It's also like 1 AM in Poland right now, so that's why he's not here to watch his game. I don't have a wife, but tournament organizing I do. If I wanted to throw shade, what I'd say is the time I spend not having a wife, I put more effort into the tournament that I run, but that would be a little bit unfair, because I know Zero puts a ton of hours into BSL. We also both have jobs, so that doesn't help. It'd be amazing if both of us could do this full time, because then we'd both be able to do more tournament content, but unfortunately, doesn't work like that. Yeti versus Last was a little bit one-sided. If you guys want to help me go more full-time doing this, by the way, you can support on Patreon. There's a goal to reach $1,200 a month. If I can reach that amount, I will be able to essentially cut a day off of my actual full-time job, which is pretty sick. If I could do that, that would be amazing. It'd mean I'd be able to bring more tournament content to you guys, have an additional full day of casting, which at the moment I simply do not have. So I try and fit it in the best I can. I do 3 nights a week, sometimes 4, and I want to do some additional side events, so it probably will end up being 4 nights a week again, but it is tough, so we won't push ourselves too hard, because I did that before and it didn't work. I do not have a wife. I have many waifus, but not a wife. Okay, so we got triple hatchery coming in here from Zero, so he is going to go 3 hatch layer most likely. Very, very standard build. Zero forever trying to get in and do some damage to the drone line, forcing a couple of drones off of mining for a little bit. Not too big. Not too great. I mean, Williman, if you're offering to be my wife, I don't know, for tax purposes, we can do it maybe. Let's see how it goes. Williman saying my hopes and dreams are stumped again. Well, that's just how it is. And Iskra Buena has just turned up. Buena, isn't it like 1 AM where you are? How are you still awake? Okay, I'm gonna have to like tab out the game quickly just to see where Tree Life got this emote from. So a guy called Tree Life has just put, oh, it's Artosis. It's a trash bag with legs. Auto trash. Oh my god. Oh, Buena saying his son had an allergic reaction. That's not good, man. Hopefully everything's okay. Okay, so we have a vulture coming in. It's got 1 drone and 1 ling. Gonna get a soul. How did that vulture get in the main? Who put butter on this drone? Oh, this vulture even. Sneaking on up, not getting an additional drone just yet though. Just being kind of annoying. Getting a couple of extra lings most likely. Now at this stage in the game, if you have a vulture in the main, as long as you macro behind it, you should win. Because it's so difficult for Zerg to deal with this. There's going to be no ranged units from Zerg until they get their Spire up. They realistically do not want to go... Oh, he's going Hydralisk then, okay. I mean, this could be a reaction to knowing that there could be a drop coming. And he saw the Wraith as well, so... It is going to be 1 base here from Forever. The Vulture getting another kill. 9 kills overall on this Vulture so far. 10 kills. 11 kills. And the Wraith definitely going to be helping out here a lot. 12 kills. Oh my god, the Vulture staying alive again. Another kill has gone down, this time on the Wraith. Oh, this is so frustrating for Zero. I feel for him. But I feel so good right now watching this because these Zerg scumbags get what they deserve. Feels so good to watch this happen. If only I could do this with vultures, then I wouldn't suck so much against Zerg. Well, 15 kills on this Vulture. It is finally going to go down. But the two Wraiths continuing the damage. 4 kills, 5 kills overall now. Zero is down to 14 drones, of course. Forever is only just now getting his natural expansion. But he has more than done enough damage to be able to call this a victory for him. At least in the battle. He's not quite won the war just yet. There is still a chance that Muteless will come out and ruin his day, or even a big Hydralisk push would actually be quite good, given the fact that he doesn't actually have that many defenses. Why is it when I'm watching... Okay, I swear, when I play Terran, which is the only race I play, my units seem to have half health of, like, everyone else. Forever's Wraith stayed alive there against 2 Hydralisks forever. How is that possible? Now 4 Vultures getting dropped off in the main. Zero taking a ton of additional damage here that he can't really afford to be taking. Does manage to save the vast majority of his drones. The Hydralisk should be able to chase these around. Why can't I click that? Okay. Looks like speed is done. Range is not yet done though, I don't think. Unless it is. Oh, mines. Are we going to see a GG Aimer mine? That would be crazy. Well, looks like we're not. Looks like the Vultures are going to be able to get taken out for now, but the Wraiths coming in here to help clean up the Overlords. Luckily, oh, okay. I wondered what that was. I was like, oh my god, a mine going into the mineral line. No way. But it wasn't quite that. Now, Zero is now stuck in a pretty awful position. He's got no Overlords to spot the mines. And the Wraiths... Well, the single Wraith actually down here with 3 kills. I think all 3 of those were Overlords as well, which is just kind of crazy to think about. Back at home, the armory is done. The second factory is on the way. The natural expansion is up. And it would take a miracle. But if there's one man who can pull off a miracle, it's Mr. Bombastic himself. He just needs to... like, if you share your energy with 3 weeks ago Zero, then he can still win this game. We had Goku playing earlier, but he didn't need energy being shared with him, so... Iskra in chat saying, yeah, this is hell on earth. It's almost like facing a 100 APM 2 gating task. I think there's a little bit of malice in that. Maybe there's some malice there. I don't want to assume, but saying that 100 APM 2 gating tasks is the worst thing on earth. Maybe a little bit of malice saying that Protoss players don't need much APM. Now let's see what Zero's plan is. Looks like he's going to try and expand towards the bottom left main. This necessarily wouldn't be a problem. Zero does know where his opponent spawns, so it's not like he's going to scout with 2 drones. Oh, is he going to try and double expand? That could actually be quite clever. If Forever never actually scouts it, then he could be in a good spot. Good spot, even. Now, if this 3rd base comes up, if this 4th base manages to come up as well, then Zero has a shot, because everything in CVT counts on how you do against the mech army in this map. And if you can get mass expansions, if you can get mass gas, if you go mass hive units, you can definitely do it, but will Forever give him the chance to get there? There's double bunkers at the front helping against any possible Hydra counterattacks. We've had a ton of tanks been built already. There's another armory coming in, so he's going to be going for double upgrades very soon. The Science Facility should be almost done. There we go, Science Facility finishing just as +1 finishes. I mean, it's going to be a little bit off, but much closer than all the other Terrans we've seen today. So you can definitely see Forever's macro definitely doing a lot better than even Kogat's in game number 1. So nicely done. 2-1 upgrades going to be coming in very, very quickly. Needs to build +2 almost immediately, but it doesn't have the gas, so it is a little bit later than I'd like to see. His first upgrade was actually late as well because he did go for a starport instead of straight into armory, but we'll let that one slide. He's going to have +1 attack as he pushes across the map. And as much as I love Zero, I don't think he has enough to be able to deal with this. He doesn't have nearly the number of Mutalisks, and once again in the STPL, Zero just... I always feel like Zero doesn't get a chance to like show his true potential when he's playing in the STPL. I don't think the best of one format suits him as much. And I don't mean to say that he's a bad player, but I feel like Zero's the kind of player who plays a little bit better after game 1, if that makes any sense. Like, when you see him play series, he seems to play a lot better, and I think it's because even if you lose game 1, it's not a big deal. But in a best of 1, game number 1 is absolutely everything. And unfortunately for Zero, I think in this case, game number 1 is going to be going to our Terran hero here. +1 carapace is not done on his mute list. 3 overlords have just hatched from a hatch rate that's about, oh, they just died, so they're going to be slowly retreating away. Most of them are going to go down on the way back. The Spire is likely going to be taken out before we can see any additional mute lists, before we see +1 carapace. And I mean, there's not that many Goliaths here, so maybe he has a chance, but the Spire going down before +1 carapace is done is a real pain. We've got vultures heading over to the top left. Looks like they are going to stop for the time being. That may actually be someone else, but it looks like the Goliaths are going to get cleaned up, so pretty good moves by Zero. The bottom left base is alive. It was in fact 2 SCVs, it wasn't vultures at all. And Zero isn't necessarily in an awful position. He's going to be able to take out a ton of these siege tanks, and that's going to give him at least a little bit of breathing room in this game. But with his Spire going down, what is he going to spend his money on? We've got double gas over at the third base here for Zero, so that's obviously going to be good. But look at this, a ton of vultures heading out onto the middle of the map. They're going to be able to get into the natural, they're going to be able to get into the main, and they're going to be able to check this third base. Now, Zero's third and fourth base are still uncontested for now. They've still not been scouted. And this is one of those moments where, as I said, if a Zerg goes unchecked for too long, they can still win. Now, looks like the Vulture's going to get into the main base. This is going to be the move that Forever's going to think, well, I'm going to win the game with this because he has nothing. But little does Forever know, he actually has a lot. Oh my god, the mine. Ooh, that could have been a big mine. The Vulture's not getting as much damage done as they wanted to. A nice drone drill by Zero. He is down 50 supply, but he's only down 16 drones. And he does have 4 gases, so the 4 gas is going to be very, very influential. Spire coming back up. He doesn't have a Queen's Nest though, so there's not going to be Hive Tech coming in. Oh, the mines. Okay, not too bad. Now, round 1 didn't go well for Forever, but round 2 of his army is heading in. He's about to get 2-1 upgrades, +2 attack, over 2/3 of the way done, over 3/4 of the way done even, +1 armor in a similar situation. Now, where does Forever push? He hasn't got scans just yet, or he has now, but he's not really been using them too much. He's saving them against lurkers, I believe. Has he used any? There we go. So, where's he scanning? There we go. So he scanned the third base. So the third base is going to be in trouble now. But does he care too much? There's not many Mutalisks. There's only 4. Wait, wasn't there more before? Where are they? Where did all of Zero's Mutalisk go? Did I just miss him, like, push into death or something? They were up by the main. I didn't see them die. Well, that's a misobserved by me, but it looks like a lot of Zero's Mutalisks did die from before, so he's rebuilding. Natural expansion, gonna be in a lot of trouble here. Luckily enough, the Spire isn't here this time, but another 2 units are gonna go down. Looks like we're gonna have a big counter push going up to the third base as well. There is a Hydra on the ramp. Does he have Lurker aspect just yet? I don't think so. He's getting oh my god, he's getting range. He forgot range this whole time. That's obviously a massive problem. Oh, here's his other Mutalisks. No, there's only 4. This is such a weird game. It looks like Zero has run out of steam. He's running out of money. He's running out of bases. and he's about to run out of drones. And despite having a ton of Mutalisks, there's 2-1 upgrades this time against 0-0 Mutalisks. The Mutalisks are going to absolutely melt with good target firing. Wait, no way he holds here, surely. Okay, so he's going to hold his main, but at what cost? His third base has gone down. He has no hive just yet. He's only building Mutalisks. They don't have any upgrades. The lurker aspect has not been done, so there's going to be no lurkers on the low ground. And Zero is down 100 supply over his opponent. He gets a single Goliath. What? I don't understand where all of Forever's supply is. It doesn't make any sense. But we're going to have vultures in the main base again. 18, 17. Almost 16 drones here. 4-0 are remaining. And unfortunately, I mean, Zero's holding on, but it's just not enough. And there we go. The Mutalisks are going to start falling. GG. Zero taps out. Forever takes game number 3. Okay, so that's how why do I keep saying that today? That wasn't the best game for Zero. Of course he would have wanted a better game, but it is still 2-1. There is still one more player here for Net Wars who can take us to an ace match. We'll have to see if he can do that when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon, as I just need a quick drink.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. STPL does! Bio TVP. Wow! You got it! STPL does! Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does! Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs? Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does! STPL does! STPL does! STPL does! STPL does! DT's doing game-ending damage? Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL, STPL does! All that and more. Only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below, patreon.com. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 4 between NetWars and Valhalla team. I don't know how I forgot what I've been casting the last 50 minutes? Oh well, it's been a 4-hour, 8-minute cast so far. And apparently I'm losing my mind. It's also after midnight, so this is a rare treat because usually if I was casting on a weekday where I'd be at work tomorrow, I would definitely not be casting this series, but it's been a good series to cast so far. We're going to be heading into game number 4. Now, game number 4 is going to be NetWars' last chance. This is going to be match point here for Valhalla team. Koga started them off with a strong start, but unfortunately, both Yeti and Zero have been unable to follow on the heels of Koga, and definitely having trouble now. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but Neo Outlier is going to be our map in terms of the ZVP. We've had some good ones. Protoss definitely more favored over Zerg than anyone else. We saw Protoss take out Hyunwoo as well. Dreamer, that was today. And Chaelin took out Castle. So that should actually be 12-6. So not too bad for Zerg overall, but not great. Pebble, did you just highlight the STPL does emote? Unfortunately, it doesn't really do anything when you highlight an emote, but I appreciate the message. And also, the best thing for me is I get an infinite amount of my own channel points. Like I could literally type whatever I wanted, and there's nothing you guys can do about it. You have to redeem your channel points to do something. Unlucky. Now let's have a look at our players. Starting us off here for NetWars, it's going to be Vingzil. Vingzil hasn't had the best win ratio in the STPL, but he hasn't had the worst either. Over 8 games, he's 50%, 4 for 4. He's 1 for 1 against Protoss, so it looks like he likes balance here. Against Zerg even, he likes balance. In terms of the players he played against, he beat Ho, a very strong White Clan member, and he lost to Essen in a very quick ZVP, if I remember correctly. Now, let's have a look at his opponent. Fighting for Valhalla team, it's going to be Cross, aka Crossy, aka the South Korean, currently living in Canada. He was in the round of 8 in BSL Season 7. I believe that was the last one. He is a 100% win rate so far. He beat Hawk and Goku, so doing pretty well for himself so far. Let's get into game number 4. Is Vingzil going to be able to hold on here and take us to an ace match, or is Cross going to win and take it all for Valhalla team? Let's find out as we get into game number 4. Starting us off in the top middle position in the Cyan. This was played pre-patch, so this could very well be the last game you ever see anyone in the STPL playing as Cyan. I think the week after was the patch, so take it in. It's going to be from Poland, fighting for NetWars. It's Vingzil. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand position in the wonderful magenta, fighting from South Korea for Valhalla team. I guess he's fighting from, I think he's in Canada at the moment. It's Cross. Now this could very well be the last game of the evening, so just once again, I want to say a massive shout out to our sponsors, Liquipedia and Maturino, for bringing money towards the prize pool. If you want to help the prize pool, you can put in the code LSTPL in Maturino while this happens. Just follow that link, the Maturino one. Use the code LSTPL to add 50 cents to the prize pool, completely free. Do it while there's downtime. You too can add money for free to the prize pool, courtesy of Maturino, and that would be a massive help. Currently, thanks to some fantastic donations from Psychro, Chaos Theory, Zeldaran, Dez, and Cobalt Blue, as well as the wonderful donation from Liquipedia. Our prize pool is currently up at $800 almost. You can help us reach that target with that Maturino code, so go put that in now. Looks like Cross went for an overpull. He's going into an expansion behind it, so very, very standard play from him. Vingsel, meanwhile, is going for Forge, Fast Expand, and everything could not be more normal in a ZVP. Of course, another big shout out as well to our fantastic patrons. We don't have many patrons, but the ones we do, I'm very, very thankful for. A couple of them have gone for the super patron tier to get the 15-second highlight intro for the patron bit at the end, which you'll see at the end of the stream, and I play it throughout the stream as well. And if you patron up for $5, you can get access to every single replay from every single STPL event ever. Essentially, it's a rolling thing, so obviously you lose access to the newer replays as each month passes if you've missed out. But overall, I'd say it's a pretty good deal. We've had over, I believe in terms of games, we've now got over 1,000 games for sure. Let me actually check, because I can check my database, which is kind of cool. Now, unfortunately, Vingsel lost his probe, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but things are still looking pretty good. Now, if we actually check the amount of sets, there's been 1,109 sets played in the STPL. Some of them from ages ago will be walkovers, but there's not been too many walkovers overall, so this is in fact, wait, so would this be, these are all the ones from today, so this game is the 1,112th game in the STPL, which is interesting. Can you believe there's been that many games? I mean, if you think about Season 1, it lasted 15 months. Season 2 is only going to be lasting around 15 weeks. I know it's been a little bit longer than that, but for the players, it's only going to be 15 weeks. 13 weeks for the group stage, likely 2 to 3 weeks for the bracket stage. Casting-wise, it's been a little bit longer just because we have had 7 best of 5s a week. Sometimes it's not been possible to cast, so that's the way it works. We've got a second probe in the main, does scout out the fact there is a lair coming up. There is 3 hatcheries here for Crossy, and everything's looking pretty good. For Vingsel, he's going into a second cannon just to be safe. No Stargate coming up just yet at the main or the natural. And a few idle probes here while he's trying to keep his probe alive. Very, very unfortunate, but very, very likely it is very difficult to try and do everything at once, and keeping your probe alive to see this spire is super, super important. You also need to double check for a Hydra Den, because you do not want to get Hydra busted in PvZ. Now I believe it's like, if you can keep your probe alive to 7 minutes without a single probe dying, you're essentially Bisu. Now unfortunately Vingsel hasn't made it that long. Looks like he is starting to lose track of his probe a little bit. So yeah, the second probe's going to go down. Not the biggest of deals, but does need to go back home and actually focus on his macro for a little bit. There is a Stargate coming in, Citadel was first, so there's going to be speed. +1 is on the way. And Vingsel could be looking to do a little bit of a timing attack here now. The 4th hatchery is on the way. 5th hatchery coming in as well to help create a wall here. We should see the evolution chamber being added here just afterwards. And both players are just kind of gearing up for a pretty good macro game by the looks of it, so that's good. Additional 2 gateways coming on. No Templar Archives just yet, interestingly enough. I kind of would have thought that would have been coming in by now, but maybe waiting to see what's going on. And Stuffed Pink Owl saying, nothing makes me happier than seeing Zergs actually saturate their mineral lines. I agree. That's one of the reasons why Cross is so good, but you can see he's actually not fully saturated. He's got 3 patches not being mined from at the moment. Is this drone idle? Yeah, it is. This drone isn't doing anything. Oh my god, that's such an awful idle drone as well, because you're never ever going to see that. One of the funny things is recently I've been playing Age of Empires 1 again because I bought the definitive edition on Steam for like $3 or £3 even. I keep thinking about everything in dollars because the prize pool's in dollars, Patreon's in dollars, but I do actually still have pounds in the UK, at least for now. Maybe when we become the 52nd state, which is what our government wants, then we won't have them anymore, but... First Corsair getting taken down by Cross, that's going to make these Mutalists even stronger, and that's certainly something Vingzil doesn't want to lose out for, but essentially what I wanted to say was, in Age of Empires 1 in the remaster, they've added an idle worker button, and it's amazing how often workers go idle in Age of Empires 1. I know it's not as good as Age of Empires 2, so, like, I grew up on Age of Empires 1, that was like, I played Age of Empires 1 before I played StarCraft, so please forgive me. But that drone's still not working. Trouble with that idle drone is you're never going to notice that that's not doing anything. Not in a million years are you going to see that's not moving. When you check your mineral lines, it just looks like it's mining, right? I mean, Cross has just been staring at this location. And he's not seen its idle. This poor drone is just going to sit there depressed for the rest of his life. And that's it. What is his purpose? He sits at the mineral line, but he can never reach what he desires. He's essentially the Red Skull from the Avengers, but other than the Soul Stone, he just can't get any minerals. That's it. I'm gonna keep checking this drone, because this drone eventually will do something. He is destined for great things, but unfortunately he guides others to a power that he cannot possess. Libertine saying he's an artist and Black Obsidian saying he's on disability leave. Pebble saying philosopher's drone, and Iskra or Buena saying he's the boss. He's a supervisor. He gets paid to make sure the other workers are working. Oh my god, I hate managers who do that. I hate it so much. It's like, just trust that I'm gonna do the work. You don't have to look over my shoulder every 5 seconds to ensure I'm working. But maybe someone needs to do that with this drone. Thing is, every time he sends a drone to mine over here, every time he does anything on this hatchery, he's gonna have to see that drone and he just doesn't notice. So he's essentially on 37 drones, because that drone isn't doing anything. Now the Mutalisks, they're having to contend with both Archon and Corsair now, which makes it a little bit more difficult to do anything, but they are going to be able to take down some of these Zealots. Really, really nicely done on the movement. The Archon makes it... the Archon has a lot of trouble catching up. Why is he running his Zealots away from the Archon on the Corsairs? I do not understand. But Vingzil has his plans. He's got an idea. He has a dream. Much like this drone. Dreams of not mining minerals, and dreams of a better life for him and his comrades. He's on strike, and essentially all the other drones have crossed the picket line. They're all scumbags. He's the one true hero drone. I can't believe they crossed the picket line. What awful drones. Ugh. Making me sick. Support your fellow workers. He wants better rights, and this is what Crossy does. He sends all of his other workers to work. He's on hunger strike as well, because he's not eating any minerals. It's not good. This drone is like me whenever I go anywhere in the UK. I'm like the one left-wing leaning person. And everyone else is just working, and I'm like, we need to strike, our situation is bad, but nope, never again. Well, the Mutalists get into the mineral line despite everything. There's, oh my god, the storm. He suicides, but he gets a lot of damage done. But it looks like the Mutalist, and he dodges all the probes with the Storm as well. Very, very good. But 3 Mutalists here, going to be doing a ton of damage. Where are the Corsairs? Did all the Corsairs go down to Scourge? I was too busy looking at the drone to realize. But I mean, Cross's micro is really, really impressive. He's now got a 10 supply advantage over his opponent. Oh, the Corsair goes down to Scourge again. The drone is gone. He's moved. A blessing from the Lord. If we go Monty Python over here. He got bored of looking at the other mineral. He's gone to the other one now. That's it. Oh, the Mutalist going in for the High Templar. They get one of them. Can they get the other one? Yes, they do, but not without taking big, big losses over here. Another Storm going down on top of this once again. Everything running away from all of the Archons and everything. I know it was the Mutalist this time, but the Mutalist getting back into the main. There's only 2 Corsairs here. There is a single Dragoon, but that's not going to help too much. Checking on that drone. Still not working. Still on strike. Let's check the other ones. Maybe there's some believers in his movement over at the other mineral lines. Oh, there's three believers over here. But the Mutalist coming back in here. Getting another High Templar. Bingsel's army is getting stronger by the minute though. And it's only Mutalist. It's 1-1. And it looks like they've crossed the picket line as well. The Corsair's getting another... the Mutalist getting another... Wait. I have no idea what I just looked at anymore. There is a ton of ground units here though for Cross. This could be the nail in the coffin. It's only 1-1 for our Protoss player. There's 1-0 for our Zerg player here. The Corsair is still alive at the top of the engagement. The Zealots unable to engage with the Hydralisk properly, but this is a ton of Dragoons, but a lot of the hits being used on those Mutalists. But could this be a little bit too much? Could the striking drone have cost Crossy the game here, as this is so many Dragoons pushing on forward? This armor upgrade really, really helping them, but it looks like there is just a few too many Hydralisks. We've got another believer in the movement, everyone. Vive la Revolution! But looks like the Hydra's being pushed back again. Is that drone? Yep, he's still there. His followers are growing. Slowly but surely. But more importantly, Vingsel's army is getting bigger and bigger. But look at those storms. Perfect storms. Absolutely money. Getting tons and tons of damage down. This Archon unfortunately is going to die. The third base looks like it's trying to come up over here for Vingsel. There's not too many units here for Crossy. Remember, if Vingsel wins this game, we're going to be heading to an ace match. And my day of casting is still not over. And if Cross can win here, this is going to be the end of the series today. So I'm sure there's going to be a few people cheering for Vingsel for that reason. And looks like the Zealot's going to move on forward. This is a ton of Hydralisks. And before the game end, okay, we know what's going to happen up here. Vingsel leaves. Crossy, he's got 2 drones in the movement. I don't think there's any additional drones, so it was just 2 drones who went on strike that game. Glory to those drones. But, yep, didn't affect Crossy too much having an idle drone the whole game, because he is that strong. Really, really well played by Crossy. That is, of course, going to give the win to Valhalla team, and overall gonna lead us to a really, really interesting position in the tables. So let's have a look at the results first, and I'll quickly reload the overlay, and then we can have a look at what happened in the table. Okay, so a 3-1 victory there for Valhalla team. Koga with a very strong start over DK on Neo Arkanoid, but last pushing back against Yeti Forever, winning over Zero, and Cross winning over Vingsel to take the series 3-1 in favor of Valhalla team over Net Wars. Really, really good series. We've had some good games. I think Vingzel versus Cross was my favorite one to cast, but that was mainly because it was an idle drone and I enjoyed looking at it. That's that's it, but really good series nevertheless. Really, really fun. Let's quickly go back here. I will quickly reload the overlay and then we can have a look at how that played out in the tables. That isn't the end of wait. Is that the end? That is the end of week 9, so very, very important I do this, otherwise Fujikura will have my head. Let's have a look at what the table looks like at the end of week 9 before we get into week 10 in the new year. So have a look at the team rankings. So Soul Gaming hold on to their top spot, Valhalla team hold 2nd, White Clan hold 3rd, IRK hold 4th, Bull in 5th, Red stay in 6th. They actually move up to 6th after beating Eternal Friends, but they were already in 6th, so I think EF just moved down. Naz move up to 7th, Ash move up to 8th, Eternal Friends drop down to 9th, Net Wars stay in 10th, Clan Revolution, Rev move down to 11th, Nice drop down to 12th, DM drop down to 13th, and Psystorm drop to 14th. So looks like things are heating up in the table. The top 8 teams as they stand, if we were to go into the playoffs right now, the top 8 teams in the playoffs would be Soul, Valhalla, White Clan, IRK, Bull, Red, Naz, and Ash. But of course, all is still to play for. There is still 4, I think it's 4 to 5 played weeks. I think it's, as a matter of fact, after week 9, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4 more playable weeks for these teams to make the difference. Obviously, unfortunately for teams like Nice, DM, and Psystorm, there's not much chance to get back into them. But Net Wars, Clan Revolution, Eternal Friends, if they all go on a big win streak, they are going to have a chance at getting us through into the themselves into the playoffs. So that'll be really, really cool. One thing to note as well, huge thank you once again to our sponsors, Liquipedia and Maturino. Huge thank you to our patrons who, they'll get the thank you message in a moment. And thank you to all of our subs, donators, and of course viewers as well. Because without you guys, I would be a lonely, lonely person just casting to no one. Because I would still be casting if you weren't here, but the fact you guys are here makes things a lot better. And Liquipedia is a great resource. Unfortunately, I don't have a link to the Liquipedia page, but it's like liquipedia.com/STPL. Let me actually link the Liquipedia page. If you want to help, anyone with a teamliquid.net account can edit on Liquipedia. So it's very, very worth doing. Liquipedia is a fantastic resource, and any help that they can get would be astounding. There's over 28 games now, I think, on Liquipedia. It started with Brood War, and we hope that Brood War is not going to die on Liquipedia either, because we need that resource, guys. So if you want to help out, please do. And I'll see you guys in 2020. Hopefully I won't need these anymore, because I'll have 2020 vision. Bam. Oh my god, that was awful. Okay, so, well, see you guys in 2020. Have a great new year. See you on Friday.